Even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice. I have a dream.
Me have a dream.
Nsi bota.
Miyeni namoko.
Me have a dream.
Paul and Silas bound in jail.
I learned about the famous Martin Luther King I Have a Dream speech when I was in primary school at about grade 4, where the elder students at my school would talk about the speech. They would make fun of it. By that time, I didn't know what they were talking about until I did some research myself. Those 4 words, I have a dream, they created an impact on me. Because they tell me that I have a dream, I need to have a vision, I need to have something I need to accumulate in life. So it impacted me greatly because I am motivated, I am inspired a lot by that I have a dream speech. Another thing, it impacted my country, Jamaica, because a lot of persons in the country, they really look up to Martin Luther King as a great leader, as a great activist, because he really fought for what he believes in. And in Jamaica, we would compare Martin Luther King Jr. to our famous Marcus Garvey, because they both fought for what they believe in. They both strive until they accomplish their desired goal. So he's a respectful leader, he's a respectful person overall, and we really admire him in our hometown, Jamaica.
Stayed in the wilderness a day too long.
So I had the privilege to hear about Dr. King when I was in junior high school doing one of the social studies class. And our teacher spoke about some historical figures who played roles, very active roles in the history and freedom of not necessarily Ghana alone, but also the world at large. So Martin Luther King was one of the very major figures in the influence of independence of Ghana from British colonial rule. So it wasn't surprising that the then Prime Minister, Dr. Osajifo Kwame Nkrumah, invited Martin Luther King for the independence ceremony when the flag of Britain was brought down and the flag of Ghana was raised up high. So Martin Luther King has had a great impact on the independence of Ghana. And right after his visit to Ghana, he came back to the United States, and it wasn't also surprising that he gave a sermon at one of his churches where he spoke about the people of Ghana, highlighting how freedom is not given free to people, but we have to fight for the freedom of ourselves and also for others who can fight for themselves. How does this impact me as a biology major here at Tougaloo College? So with that being said, nothing will be given free to me. I have to fight for everything that I deserve and everything that I want to earn in life. So I will continue to fight for myself academically and also for people who don't have the right to fight for themselves.
Your eyes on the prize and hold on.
First I learned about Martin Luther King Jr. through his famous I Have a Dream speech. However, I got to learn more about his works in the civil rights movement through a quiz program I was involved in while I was living in Jamaica. In that program, history, both local and international, was my core area of study, and knowing major world figures was what I had to learn. A lot of people in Jamaica would consider Martin Luther King Jr. as famous or one of the greatest human rights activists. A few would also consider him as a remarkable religious leader. Defending human rights is paramount in preventing a local conflict or even a world conflict. Martin Luther King Jr. has inspired me to defend human rights through his non-violent approach to ensuring that all African Americans have equal rights, which are the rights to vote, the right to freedom, the right to health care, among other rights. Alternatively, he could have decided to follow the approach of our great Jamaican national hero, Samuel Sharp, who once famously said, "I would rather die on yonder gallows than to live in slavery," and do a repeat of what happened 100 years ago in the American civil rights. But no, he didn't. He decided to lead a non-violent approach to defending human rights, which was what happened on August 28, 1963, during the March on Washington, where he delivered his famous I Have a Dream speech.
I did not study much about Martin Luther King in a classroom setting per se, But when I heard about Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King, I learned of him as a freedom fighter, a man who fought for the freedom of blacks with a belief that all lives are created equal. Just recently, in late 2016, current political party in power in my country took up the street with a non-violent approach, which was the approach of Dr. Martin Luther King. This led to a loss of life. It led to tortures. But at the end, it also led to victory. It led to a better Gambia. It led to a new Gambia that we all celebrate today. Just as Martin Luther King himself said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And I strongly believe that it is our moral duty to stand firm against injustice, against any race or nation. I believe Martin Luther King should forever be remembered and celebrated.